Pixar is responsible for some of our best childhood movie memories. With films like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and Cars under their belts, they've proven time and again they know how to make an incredible animated film. So let's check out some of the best Pixar Easter eggs from their pre-Disney days.
See? You see? Oh, you don't see it?
But before we get into it, we'll give you a moment to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all things Screen Rant.
You get the idea anyway.
And let's take a moment to check out today's emoji trivia. Can you guess the title of this film based off of these emojis? The answer will come at the end of this video, so stay tuned.
Hello? Check. That better? Great. Everybody hear me?
Knick Knack Callback. 1995's Toy Story was Pixar's very first feature film. The now iconic movie about a box of toys who come alive catapulted Pixar into the hearts of families worldwide. But of course, they had a lot of practice before tackling this full-length adventure, and they hit a clever callback to one of their earlier short films in their first ever feature. There's a scene in which Woody is holding a big meeting with the other toys. He runs down his list of topics before sheepishly trying to brush over the big news about Andy's birthday party. He ends up angering the anxious toys, and chaos ensues when the guests start arriving early. If you look closely at the bookshelf behind Woody, you'll notice a book called Knick Knack. This is a reference to a short film made by Pixar in 1989. John Lasseter, an avid snow globe collector, created the short about a snowman who lives in a snow globe. When he can't find the right decorations for a summer-themed party, the snowman does everything he can to escape the glass dome. Knick Knack proves Pixar always had heart, and it's great to see them shouting out their roots as early as Toy Story.
Don't worry! The colony is in good hands!
Movie maker mosquitoes. 1998's A Bug's Life was Pixar's second feature film. It follows an ant named Flick, who recruits a gang of inept bugs to save his colony from the evil grasshoppers. In one brief scene, two mosquitoes are blinded by the light of a bug zapper and find themselves drawn to its intoxicating glow.
No! Harry, no! Don't look at the light! I can't help it. It's so beautiful.
This moment may be brief, but it's also super memorable. What makes this exchange even better is knowing the voices of the two mosquitoes were performed by the film's directors, John Lasseter and Andrew Stanton. This is just another reason why we love Pixar. When they make a film, they let everybody get involved in all aspects of production. Must be a ton of fun to work there and get the chance to cameo in a movie, even if acting isn't your thing. Fun fact, A Bug's Life was originally going to be called Bug's Story, but Pixar changed it because they didn't want audiences thinking they were going to name every movie something story.
We're walking.
Walking?
Yep.
No, my baby, look, she needs to be driven. My baby, I'll call you.
Familiar toys. Now this is an Easter egg you definitely would have missed if you saw the film in theaters. Monsters, Inc. is Pixar's 2001 family comedy about the monsters hiding in your closet. The film humanizes them by taking a peek into their world, in which they work at a big corporation that harvests the power of children's screams. You know, now that we explain it like that, the film seems kinda morbid. But in reality, Monsters, Inc. is a lighthearted and touching movie which sees the characters rethink their monstrous ways when they befriend the young Boo. In a particularly heartbreaking scene in the film, Boo hands Sully some of her toys and tries to get him to play with her. You may have missed exactly what she was handing to him because you were probably looking at the screen behind the blur of a tear in your eye. But if you look closely, you can see she's handing him a Jessie doll from Toy Story 2. But even better, she also hands him a Nemo doll. Finding Nemo wouldn't be released until 2 years after Monsters, Inc., but it would have been well into production, enough for Pixar to plant the seeds of its impending release. Finding Mr. Incredible. And speaking of Finding Nemo, there are plenty of awesome Easter eggs in this 2003 film that will make you love Pixar even more. This smash hit movie won the studio an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. Finding Nemo was also a huge box office success and became the highest grossing G-rated film of all time before Pixar beat its own record with Toy Story 3 in 2010. And just like Monsters, Inc. before it, Finding Nemo introduces a number of characters to the Pixar universe before their films were released. In the dentist office scene, a boy can be seen reading a Mr. Incredible comic book. That film wouldn't be released until the following year. But even less obvious is Luigi the car, who can be seen driving by the dentist office. Cars wouldn't be released until a few years later, in 2006. These kinds of Easter eggs make us really love Pixar. Just like Disney or Marvel, they've created their own cinematic universe where all of their films take place. Finding Nemo already got a sequel in 2016's Finding Dory, but rumor has it Disney and Pixar are already planning on expanding the Finding Nemo universe with another film.
Hey, look.
Incredible Ave. The Incredibles was released in 2004 to universal acclaim. The film follows a superhero family who live amongst the average civilian in a quiet suburban home. When the evil syndrome threatens the Earth with a killer robot, the Incredible family must team up to wipe him out. Writer and director Brad Bird had worked on the animated film The Iron Giant, which is a fantastic cult film that went terribly underappreciated in its time. Thankfully, with The Incredibles, Bird was able to achieve a critical and commercial success. The film brought home 2 trophies at that year's Academy Awards, including Best Animated Feature. When it comes to fun Easter eggs, The Incredibles Incredibles has plenty, but our favorite is in the opening chase scene. When Mr. Incredible is listening in on the police radio, he learns the robbers are fleeing on San Pablo Avenue.
A deadly high-speed pursuit between police and armed gunmen is underway traveling northbound on San Pablo Avenue.
That's actually a real street in Emeryville, California, right around the block from the real-life Pixar studios. We love how Pixar playfully mixes fact and fiction, even in their Easter eggs. Oh, and FYI, a sequel to the hit film is scheduled for release on June 15, 2018.
Almost there.
Eggman Movers. You all probably already know about the Pizza Planet truck, which is an Easter egg found in every Pixar film. But there's another famous truck in the Pixar universe which doesn't get nearly as much screen time. The Eggman Movers truck appears a few times in the Toy Story franchise. At the end of the first film, the Eggman Movers help Andy move to his new home. You can also spot the truck in the film's sequel when Buzz and the toys are crossing the street to Al's Toy Barn. It can also be seen during the Pizza Planet chase scene. Now, the name Eggman comes from art director Ralph Eggleston, whose nickname around the Pixar office was the Eggman. The logo also makes an appearance in Pixar's 2008 feature, WALL-E.
Oh, I seriously doubt he's getting this kind of mileage.
Unfortunately, the truck didn't make it into Toy Story 3. I guess it's not quite as ubiquitous as the Pizza Planet truck. Maybe Eggman Movers need to invest in more advertising. We'll see if they make an appearance in the next Toy Story film. As of now, Toy Story 4 is set to be released on June 21st, 2019. But there's been a lot of back and forth with exactly what the next Toy Story film will be. But we're eagerly awaiting the finished product. Presidential Past. But we're definitely not done with the Toy Story Easter eggs. This one comes from the groundbreaking film's 1999 sequel. Originally envisioned as a direct-to-video sequel, Toy Story 2 was bumped up at the last minute to a full theatrical release. Pixar was so busy working on A Bug's Life that director John Lasseter and the creative team had to completely revamp the plot in one weekend. They also had only 9 months to complete the film, where most Pixar features take years to complete. Thankfully, the hard work paid off, and Toy Story 2 opened to critical and commercial acclaim. Our favorite piece of trivia from this film has to do with the voice of Woody himself, Tom Hanks. It turns out he's actually related to Abraham Lincoln. Tom is a direct descendant of one of Nancy Hanks' uncles, Nancy being Lincoln's mother. So in the scene in which Jessie first meets Woody, the writers thought it would be fun to have her yell,
Sweet mother of Abraham Lincoln!
This is yet another reason why we love Pixar. They aren't afraid to reference an actor's real life in their movie. This is certainly not the only example, but we think it's the most interesting because we ended up learning something pretty neat about Tom Hanks. Harryhausen homage. This next Easter egg also serves as an homage to the great Ray Harryhausen, a pioneer in stop-motion animation and a very important figure in the world of animation in general. He's responsible for the stop-motion skeletons in 1963's Jason and the Argonauts, and the Academy Award-winning animation in 1949's Mighty Joe Young. He's been heralded by filmmakers like George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and Wes Anderson for his innovation and creativity. In Monsters, Inc., the team at Pixar had Mike and Celia visit a restaurant named after the famous animator. But there's another, less obvious reference to Harryhausen in the form of the six-legged octopus behind the bar. In one of Ray Harryhausen's films, called It Came From Beneath the Sea, the budget was so tight, he had to create an octopus with only 6 tentacles. I guess tentacles are pretty expensive, so they had to cut 2 of them out of the movie. We love that Pixar sneaks in adoring homages to their predecessors. It shows that they're humble despite their huge success, and they have a deep respect for the art of animation. Good on you, Pixar. A113. Many of you may already know about the A113 Easter egg found in Pixar's films, but we included it on this list because it always puts a smile on our faces. For those of you who don't know, A113 refers to the classroom at the California Institution of Arts where many of Pixar's animators, including John Lasseter, learned how to create digital animations. Beginning with their very first feature film, Toy Story, Pixar has hidden A113 into every single film they've produced to date. It can be seen in A Bug's Life on the side of a box in the background. In Cars, it serves as a license plate number and the number of a train whizzing by. In Finding Nemo, it's a brand of underwater camera. And in The Incredibles, it's the cell number where Syndrome is hiding Mr. Incredible. Now this practice has extended into the studio's more recent Disney Pixar productions as well. The classroom number can be seen in the background in Up as a courtroom number, in Toy Story 3 as a license plate number, and even in a couple different places in Ratatouille. The best A113 reference probably goes to WALL-E, which actually made the number a key aspect of the plot. It's the name of the directive to never return to Earth.
All we need is a sweet taste of my homemade organic fuel.
No, doesn't agree with my tank.
Bumper Buddy. Cars was Pixar's last independently produced feature film before the studio was acquired by Disney in 2006. The film features a cast of hilarious anthropomorphic cars, one of which is Fillmore, a hippie 1960s VW voiced by none other than George Carlin. It's hard to count exactly how many bumper stickers are stuck to Fillmore's trunk. There are at least 75, but for all we know, there are even more hidden underneath that have simply been plastered over by more stickers. The team at Pixar definitely had a ball coming up with fun slogans. There are too many for us to go through them one by one, but there are a few in particular that serve as great Easter eggs for the film. Some of them are true to Fillmore's hippie style, like Free Mother Road, Drink Organic Fuels, and Recycle Your Oil. But our favorite is Save 2D Animation. This one is a little self-referential, since Cars is itself a computer-animated film. This shows the team at Pixar aren't afraid to make fun of themselves, but it also shows they understand the importance of all forms of animation, whether it's done on a computer or done the old-fashioned way, by hand. Were you surprised by any of these Easter eggs? Did we miss any of your favorites? Let us know how much you love Pixar in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Screen Rant so you never miss an upload. If you're still wondering about the emoji trivia question, here's your answer.